Welcome to the Paint Method podcast. My name is David Garibaldi. And if you've been listening for a while, welcome back. I know it's been a minute, but between being on tour and getting married, life's just been a little busy lately. So I've been in and out of the studio quite a bit, but I felt it was time to just get back to this. So there's a message on my heart that I believe that someone out there needs to hear, whether you're deep into your creative journey or just starting out. Now, what I share here may be aimed at artists, but honestly, it applies to anyone building something with passion and purpose, and you are using your creativity to do so. So, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, this is for you. I'm excited about today's episode. So, today is about how to value your time and how that directly affects how others value your art or your work. So let's rewind a bit. Let's just take a quick recap in case you're new here. My name is David Garibaldi. I've been a professional artist for over the past 20 plus years. I've generated millions in art sales, reached millions online, and raised millions for charity, all through my art. And what I share here is based on the tools and the mindset, the inspiration that helped me on that journey. So let's talk value, and not just art value, but time value. And there are three common myths that I want to clear up first. So, myth number one: the longer a piece takes to create, the more valuable it is. It's a pretty solid one. I've heard that one quite a bit. Myth number two: the more detail in the work, the more it's worth. I think that's pretty on point. Number three: the harder the artist worked, the higher the value. Now, all of those can be true, but they're not the rule because none of those matter unless this one thing happens. The value is determined by the person willing to pay. I'm going to say it again. The value is determined by the person willing to pay. This applies not just to art, but to everything: real estate market, the tech market, any business that you're in. And if you want a full-time career as a creative, you need to exchange value for your art. Now, whether that's money, collaboration, exposure, or something else, but ultimately value is defined by the market and the person across from you. That means you have one job after making your art: communicate your value to others clearly. Now, this realization came to me through my own process. If you see me paint, you know I move fast. I create 6-foot portraits in minutes, live on stage with the accompaniment of music. Now, if you believe those myths I shared earlier, you would think, well, then what you just said, what you do, can't be worth much. It only takes a few minutes. It goes against the rules that we were told, these myths that were told to us. But imagine this: I'd walk into an event, perform for minutes, maybe multiple paintings, and I'm there for an hour. I could have flown in or gone across town and still walk out with a 5-figure check, night after night, all throughout the year for 20 plus years. So the question is, why? Now remember this: I have one job after making my art, and that is to communicate to others my value. Now, people found value not just in the painting, but in the experience, the live experience, the energy, and whatever it represented. And I would add too, leading up to an event, there's the experience of communicating with my team and how we lead them through the advancing process before we even arrive. The experience starts from their initial email inquiry to when we leave that venue. That is essentially the value of the complete experience. And to think about it, the art is really it's an important part, but it's a small part. But going through that, it changed the way that I saw time. It's really not just about how much time you spend to create, but what value does that bring to someone else? So now I want to break this into two paths because I think that all of us are in one of these paths, every single one of us. And you may not feel like it, but I guarantee we are. So, the first path is I have tips for artists that have a lot of time on your hands. What can I do today to start building my value or so that I can communicate what that value is? And the other path that I want to give tips for is artists who don't have much time. And this is, again, all about what you can work on today as step one, increasing the value of how you spend your time. Because eventually, when you communicate it, when you're no matter how you're spending time or when, whether you're not working or you are, you still have to bring value to it. So I'm going to help you with that. And understand that there's a way to communicate it later. And now this is going to be justified by your actions as well. So the advice that I give and what you go and do with this. All right, let's start with the first one. So this is for the artists that have a lot of time. So these are three, I think, truly powerful things that you can do right now. Number one, work on your foundation and fundamentals. So in high school, I studied beyond what was required of me. So everyone was just going to class and everyone just did the basic things. I was in this animation class, and to get better at character animation, I had to learn about the figure. Now, I could just go read books about it, or I could go sign up for a class, which I did. I took figure drawing classes in the evenings that helped me move fast when my art career eventually took off right after high school. So, some backstory, I didn't graduate high school, at least on time, not till last year. But between 18 and 20, I had taken these skill sets with me and just got to work right away. I didn't go to art college or get a degree. I built and spent the extra time working on the foundation and fundamentals. And all I'm saying is don't skip the boring stuff. It's This is what makes you great when things eventually start to move fast. And your skills, they can keep up with the opportunity that's coming at you. Now, one just quick note, I still actively spend time now to keep learning so I can grow as the opportunities come and as the opportunities grow as well. All right, number two, develop your unfair advantage. Now, what are the skills or traits do you have? What do you have that can give you an edge in your creative career? For me, it was multimedia. I loved video, I loved editing and even building my first websites as well. Now, this was all before posting content was cool. I just enjoyed it. It was part of my foundation, and I spent the extra time to build what ultimately became my unfair advantage. I shot my own content, I edited it, I put it out. Now, this helped me build the momentum early on. Now, your unfair advantage might be charisma. You may have an edge in just connecting with people, making them feel comfortable. Your unfair advantage may be your technical skills. You may be talented at building websites or just working on the back end of your business. Or this is one skill that I think is very much overlooked. You may even have a skill set of time management, project management. All I'm saying is lean into it, take advantage of these, and speaking from experience, it will help you go a long ways when things get busy. So the third one, number three, take the meeting. I'm going to say it again. Take the meeting. If someone shows interest or you're building a connection, relationship with someone, follow up. Set the coffee, go to their office, take the call. But here is the key to make sure that you're not wasting time on relationships that aren't building during this, especially this time when you're building your career, you're working on the foundation and fundamentals of this to help you later on. Focus on how you can bring value to them. I'll say it again. Focus on how you can bring value to them. Don't show up just trying to get something. Build the relationship by giving. And I cannot stress this enough, how this has helped me so much over the years to just build with others by giving along the way. So, all right, let's shift gears. Now, this is advice for artists that don't have a lot of time. Now, I feel you because this is where I'm at right now. But here are 3 steps that I think will make a massive difference starting today. Number 1, find a faster way to create. Now, it doesn't mean you're cutting corners. It just means that you're finding a process that still gets your voice across. You can start by creating small collections. You can use batch planning. You can develop a small series, but finding a rhythm that respects your style and ultimately what we're talking about here is your schedule too. Now, this is the first step in scaling your art business. Uh, I'll give a personal anecdote to this. Because I create paintings so large, not everyone has a huge wall to create. Now, if I create in that same style smaller, it doesn't mean that I'm going against my creative grain, that it's something that I'm making myself smaller just because the painting is smaller. It's the same energy into a smaller painting, but it's helping me scale because in these particular incidences, I can move more art quicker when I need to. So just keep that in mind. Number 2, automate everything that's not art. So back in the day, I would pack every print myself. And that made no sense once I realized how much time I was losing. Now, fast forward in time. Now, I use Printful. It's an on-demand print service. Orders come in through my website, and because their Printful is connected to it, they fulfill them. It's simple. I just eliminated, no lie, weeks of work with just having this automated process. Now you can automate this and use the same way of thinking when you automate your social posts, your email and even DM responses, even your content ideas. Use the creative part of AI is it can prompt you on giving it and asking it, hey, this is what I'm trying to achieve. Can you just give me some ideas, an outline of an idea? Use those. Again, if it's not your voice or if it's not hands-on, automate it. Number 3, learn video and audio. Now, if you want to grow your brand and sell art and you need to get your message out fast and often, learn how to use film and record. Actually, learn how to film and record content. Now, you don't need fancy gear. You could start with your phone, but just learn the basics. Video and audio are the biggest reasons I've been able to reach more people. Just in the past 5 years, we've gained over 2 million plus followers, and which is insane. Like the world that we live in today is if you can respond quick enough, you can grow as quickly. And I owe that growth to really being ready to get content out fast. Now, I just want to take a quick minute before we wrap this up to share something with you. If you are looking for a way to keep growing in your skills outside of this podcast, first, we are launching the Art Supply Weekly newsletter. Now, in this newsletter, you'll get free tools, tips, and inspiration straight to your inbox. And it's based on my Art Star method. Now, ART stands for Arrive, Reach, Train. And STAR stands for Search, Technical, Attract, Revenue. So within these newsletters, I'm just going to be sharing really simple breakdowns and just tips that you can start using today. So get on that list before we launch it or even after. Second thing I want to share with you is that I want you to get on the waiting list for the Art Supply community. Now, this is where we go deeper with the creative business growth, like true community, social media support. If you got something new, share it in there so the whole group of us can help support that and share it. I will also be sharing exclusive teaching content that I will only post there. So for example, We have a bunch of courses to help entrepreneurs. And let's just say I have an idea that I want to just share before we even put it into a course. We're dropping it in the art supply community first. So we're only opening a limited amount of spots at a time. So I want you to get on the list as soon as possible. All the links are down below in the description. All right. Before we wrap this up, I will leave you with this. Act as if you don't have a lot of time, because the truth is you don't. And if this really works out for you, this creative art career you're pursuing, you still won't have time. That would be the goal out of all this. You'll be busy doing what you love, managing these projects, shows, drops, content, and more beyond your wildest imagination. Again, I'm sharing this with you based on the experience right now in my life, that wildest beyond your imagination, what you're going to need to grow to manage. Now, you'll crave the time you once had to build and to dream. Maybe some of you are in that place right now. So treat today with urgency. Time is a gift, but only if you use it with purpose. Look, I'm grateful for you being here, for listening, for doing the work that most people avoid. So here's my invitation. I'm going to need your help with this. What topics do you want me to cover on the next Paint Method podcast? If you have ideas, questions, or stories, I'm going to share my direct email with you right now. So if you're listening to this, maybe later you can write it down, go back to it, but write me at dg@paintmethod.com. Again, that email me to direct these ideas, topics that you want me to cover to, here we go, dg@paintmethod.com. Let's build together. Let's do this. Time is of the essence. My name is David Garibaldi. Thank you so much for listening to the Paint Method podcast. And I'll be sharing, actually, if you enjoy this, I want you to share it with someone who you think needs it. So I will see you on the next episode. Thank you.